Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Beth. Today we're going to do a plan with me for September 9th through the 15th of 2024. I have a lot going on this week in terms of planner launches, things I want to buy, stuff that's happening. More so than work, but I do have work stuff too, so we're going to go ahead and put that in as well. I think I'm going to start at the top with the weather, and I'm going to switch from my purple Lamy Safari fountain pen to the one that's got black ink in it, which is this mint colored one. And we'll start with the weather up at the top. So today is a gorgeous day. It is about 75 degrees outside. I don't think there's much humidity. It's a total anomaly for our state at this time of year. And I really had told myself, and I told y'all in my plan with me last week, that I wanted to get out of the house this weekend. I have not gotten out of the house this weekend. It's just been a difficult mental health weekend. I have spent a little bit of time on the porch. So I have at least been out on my back porch, my back balcony, in a little bit of the sunshine and the good weather. But yeah, I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. I haven't gone on a hike. I haven't gone for a walk. I know. I should do these things. All right, so we are going to put in some weather. It's still going to be a pretty decent weather week. The fact that our lows are dropping down into the 60s and the 50s is just as astonishing as the weather is today. I talked to some coworkers during the week, and we all agreed that this really great weather was false advertising, that there was no way that we could possibly be at the point where fall was here, because that's just not how our state works. But other than that, I mean, we're still not getting back up into the 90s this week. It's mostly the 70s and the 80s, and we have one day of rain. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just gonna be a weird September and we're gonna get a fall like everybody else does, and maybe not. I haven't looked any farther ahead than the 15th to see if it's projected to go back up or not. But I mean, you know, 14th and 15th, 88, low of 65, partly cloudy. It could change. It could easily creep up back up into the 90s. I'm going to draw some weather icons with purple. But first, while I have this in my hand, I'm going to draw these straight lines on my working hours and block off some meeting times and that sort of thing. I don't have anything happening Monday morning, so I'm returning to my no meeting Monday morning ritual. And sometimes I set that aside as project time, and sometimes I really just spend that time in my Microsoft Office products doing this, but in there. So making sure that I've got time blocked off for specific projects, that my planners are up to date in Microsoft Planner for my events, all of that sort of stuff. It's just a touch base for me. And do I always spend a full 4 hours doing that? No. But I very much have appreciated having that time blocked off where nobody else can interfere with it. Empty boxes are personal time, so like no meeting Monday morning would be personal time. Striped boxes are actual meetings for work. Okay, that'll do for now. I may have to pick this up again a little bit later. We'll stick it off to the side, and hopefully that's dry. So on Monday, we have a sunny day, and I'm just going to freehand draw sunshine. I'm not going to use a stencil. Ditto for Tuesday. And then Wednesday's partly sunny. Thursday is a rain day. We're just going to draw a raindrop. And then we have some more partly sunny days for the rest of the week. I don't know, that I'm sitting here doing this, I'm thinking about my mood for the week, and I'm remembering that Monday was a holiday, and this is a holiday week. There's always something for me about coming off the back half of a holiday week that's always very meh. I don't think it's necessarily that unusual that I'm just kind of feeling, I don't know. All right, we're going to put in a moon up here with our weather. There we go. Okay, what do I have up here? So I'm going to get out Shouldn't have put that down. Should have kept it in my hands. Let's see if I can do this without smudging it. There we go. I got it too close to the words, so I'll just move those over. But on Monday, or tomorrow, I have my Bring Your Own Book Club. And if you watched my reading wrap up, I read 7 books? ? 7 or 8. I think it's 7. In August. So I could grab any one of those. I'm probably going to take Amina El-Sarafi. I think that's what I'm going to take with me. Is that. And then on Thursday, it's just a reminder. I don't know that I'll necessarily start watching it on Thursday, but this is a reminder that the back half of the new season of Emily in Paris drops on Netflix on that day. Like I said in my September plan with me, it's a silly show. I love it. All right, while I have this in my hand, there are some things that I need to put in here that are time sensitive, so I'm going to go ahead and put them on calendar where they would fall. And one of them is right here, and that is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra pre-sale for the tour that they are doing this winter. It's one of those Christmas things that the boys and I like to do. And so we are going to shoot for that. On Friday, I have something that should be happening in here, but I don't know what time it is yet. So we're going to skip it. And I know that's very cryptic. Until I know what time it is, I'm not going to stick it on my calendar. And then on Sunday at 9 a.m. is the Sterling Ink launch for their A5 products, which is this size. And I'm putting it on here, but I've said before, and it has not yet changed, I still don't know if I'm buying one. I just don't. And it may end up being a financial decision because of all these other things that are happening. Like I may have to just wait until she restocks and make a decision then. I don't know. But if I'm buying stuff on this day and I'm buying stuff on this day, by the time I get to Sunday, I don't know if I'm going to have it in me, friends. So we're just going to have to wait and see. We're just going to have to wait and see. And I just don't know how that's going to shake out. I also haven't made a decision. I don't even know if I want one yet. So, yeah, I've loved having this one. But do I want to try something new? I don't know. Do I want to go back to an old standard? I don't know. Normally by now, I've pretty much made a decision. Sterling Ink last year, because she was about to have a baby, did a pre-order, and it was in July, and I'd already made up my mind. So I typically know by mid-year what I think I'm leaning towards for the future year, because I don't like to buy multiple. I don't like to buy 4, 5, 6, 7 planners. I don't like to spend that kind of money. I don't like to try to resell them. If I don't use them, I like to make a decision and stick with it. And I'm still torn, and it's a whole situation. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, let's put in this stuff over here. Like I said, I have no meeting Monday morning. I have lunch at noon. I have an internal communications meeting, which is bi-weekly. So you'll see that one pop up a lot. I have voting for our MVP for October on Tuesday. I also have an employee appreciation meeting on Tuesday. These are 2 committees of which I am the chair, and this fiscal year I've chosen to shove them onto the same day so I can just prep for those meetings and get those meetings done on the same day of the month. And then on Wednesday, I have the writing circle that I joined to add another dimension to my life of interest. And that was just supposed to be for the month of August. And she's extended it through December before she retires. And so I'm in it for September as well. We skipped last week because of the holiday. And then I have a lunch meeting. So I'll have lunch at this meeting. It's an eating meeting. I have a think tank meeting for all the event professionals that are within our organization. Thursday, I don't have any meetings. Don't tell anyone. And Friday, I don't have any meetings. Again, don't tell anybody. There is a bullet journaling for simplicity event through BujoU, bulletjournal.com. we're just going to put Bujo Simple. Last week I attended the Bullet Journaling for ADHD event. It was a good event. It was a great event. There's a lot of us with the same struggles. And then over here, I'm going to go ahead and put in my waiting on list. I have dropped it down a few rows to get it below the Sterling Ink launch, so I could make sure that I put that on there. The Sterling Ink launch is at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, US. So for me, it's 9 a.m. And then this is a pre-order book that I've just been rolling from week to week to week, so I don't forget about it. So it will come this Tuesday, and I can finally knock it off that list. Okay, I am going to, again, just like I did last week, just do this really faint purple line. And then, I was doing quotes before, and then last week I didn't do a quote, never did come back in and put one in. And so this week I decided to just use, since my what went well, what didn't go well kind of list typically doesn't take up all that much space, I decided to go ahead and put in one of the pre-printed ones that comes in my kit. This one reads, without doors, the world would grow stagnant, calcified, storyless. Or the worlds would grow stagnant, calcified, and storyless. Again, that quote's from the 10,000 Doors of January, which is the overarching theme of this entire planner for this entire year. All right, we're going to take that all the way across, and that should be it, I think. There's another television show that's coming out on the 13th. It's called The Women. 3 women. But it's on Stars, I think, which I don't currently have right now. So it'll just be something I stick in the back of my noggin that maybe, because I'll resubscribe to Stars at some point when Outlander starts back. Maybe that's when I'll also watch 3 Women. And even then, I'll probably let it get going. Like, I'm not gonna resubscribe right off the bat and pay for all of these months when it only drops 1 episode a week. I'll wait until maybe the whole season has dropped, or we're close to the whole season dropping, and then pick it up for a little bit and then drop it again. I've tried to keep Stars for a while, and it really just doesn't have any other programming that I care about. I loved Black Sails, but other than that, it's just not high on the list, except for the fact that it carries Outlander with it. And if you've been here for a minute, you might know that I can't get myself to finish the books, but I still do watch the TV show. Okay, while I'm back here, let's do our list. So list 36 from last week was list everything you love to do outdoors. I told you I felt very called out, and yet I still didn't go out of the doors this weekend. But be as close to the ocean as possible. This is one of those ones where I keep thinking that someday I'm going to have to move, because the place that I always feel more centered is within proximity of an ocean. And yet I don't live near the ocean. I've always lived inland. Walk along or near the river. We do have the Arkansas River comes through Little Rock. Find a waterfall. We have a lot of waterfalls. There's like a waterfall trail you can download if you want to drive all over the state and find all our waterfalls. People watch, read in a cool, quiet place, and then thrifting markets when they have them outside. I love to thrift anyway, but there's like a vintage market that pops up once a month that's always outdoors, and I like to do those. List 37. Let's find out what it says. I've already set up for it to make it easy, and I forgot to leave myself space to actually write the question, so we'll just write over top of this little bubble. All right, there's 36 for the outdoors. List 37, list what you would spend $1 million on just for you. Student loans. Anybody else? Raise your hand. If anybody else out there need to pay off their student loans? I mean, I don't have $1 million worth of student loans. If I did, I would be, a physician or some such nonsense. I am not. But if you would spend part of your $1 million to pay off student loans, ta-da, raise your hands. Student loans, I would probably buy a home again so that I could stop paying rent, and then also put a huge chunk of money into an account to handle deferred maintenance costs on said home. And then I would go back to Kenya. that's like the top 3. I mean, just imagine, like, if you're of any age and your home is paid off, or you inherit a home and therefore it's paid off, and you work, but none of your paycheck has to go to mortgage or rent. It just must be a nice place to be. Must just be a nice place to be. And then take action. Are you surprised by anything on the list? What does your list tell you about yourself, your priorities, likes, and dislikes? I don't know. Oh, I would also buy a new car. Y'all know. You've been here all year long that you know my car does need replacing. I haven't done that yet. So list what you would spend $1 million on just for you. I mean, we're gonna turn the book so that I can write. And we're gonna make this like a solid one so it looks different than the others. Can we just talk about how not greedy I am? Because I would be buying the most economical house I could buy without it being something that's gonna fall down around me. I already drive what was, at least pre-pandemic, a economical car. You can't buy anything now close to the same starting cost as when I bought my car. Yeah, I'm not greedy. And I mean, the rest of it would just go into a savings account, and there would be a certain amount investment account. Stick it somewhere where I can travel off of the interest. That's the key. Once I knock out the student loans, which is a minuscule portion of $1 million. Minuscule portion of $1 million. Y'all let me know what you would spend your $1 million on. I mean, we might as well all dream here since none of us have it. If you do have it and you're watching these videos, then I question what you do with your life. I just absolutely do. Anywho, all right. So there's list 37. We're all going to dream about our $1 million. And then I can stick this here. And hopefully by the end of this week, I will have made some decisions on planner purchases. And if I haven't, then later in the year, we're just going to have to go with what I can find, what I can buy, what's available. It's just going to have to be how that goes. Again, if I had $1 million, I'd just go ahead and buy everything that I'm thinking about, wouldn't I? And that way I would have it. But I don't have $1 million. We have very limited resources up in this house. It's just the way that it's going to be. That's it. You guys, I don't know. I've chuckled a lot about this $1 million situation because I just wasn't expecting that question. But you know what to do. If you like this video, get a big thumbs up. Tell me again about your $1 million purchase down in the comments below, and I will see you next week with another one.